Started off with a bang. Started off muted. Hey, welcome to the show. This is Trebor7. It is April 7th, 2024, 7 p.m. Time to go live from the heartland, North Central Missouri. And this is live stream number 19. We're going to talk about brain power and how that associates with the psychic abilities. Just a little discussion. And to tell you the truth, I didn't do a lot of homework on this because my boy Ricky had it under control. He's made a couple videos about this, and we're going to watch those and maybe a few other links. And of course, there'll be some back and forth in the chat. If we got anybody, we got a few people watching. Feel free to jump in the chat. We'll check those in just a little bit. So I'm the creator of telekinesisschool.com, where you can learn how to do telekinesis for free. Creator of sacredsupplements.com, where you can learn how to make or purchase supplements that are sacred gifts for the mind, body, and spirit. And I also have a website called treborseven.com, where I've got a few private tutorials and lots of videos and some stuff in our forum, some articles and stuff that you could check out at treborseven.com. No further ado, I'm going to bring on my co-host. If he said, yeah, there he is. My man, Ricky Cespedes, aka Mad Cat Sphere. You can find him on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, all over the place. Been doing telekinesis for about 9 years. Really stand-up dude and a good friend of mine. Let's bring him into the show. Welcome, Ricky. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Man, I'm doing fantastic. Loving life.
Yeah.
So, I've been busier than a one-legged butt kicker this last couple of weeks, firing up my greenhouse. My nephew and I are going in on a little business. We're going to grow some vegetables. I think I showed this earlier. Little Lake Road Farms, kind of a market farming type thing in our greenhouse. Getting excited about that. But there were a lot of repairs and adjustments and things. So, I've been super busy with that, as well as my couple other jobs. But I have done a little bit of telekinesis in the last few days, and I recorded some of it. So I'll be uploading a video probably someday next week or something. How about you, man? I seen you uploaded a video I haven't had a chance to look at yet, your last one. What were you up to in your last video there, Ricky?
I just did like a few live streams on TikTok, and I happened to record myself and upload some good clips and some good demonstrations. I think I showed you one. What'd you think about it? It was good.
It was real good. Yeah, I'm really impressed, especially with the live streams. I love them.
Yeah. I
That's
hope that
awesome.
because it takes a lot of like focus and nerve to do those things, because you have to really be prepared and be there to kind of show something, and that and that you can't slip up. I mean, you can, but the people that are watching you, a lot of them are new to it. So if they see you slip up or you're slow, they're gonna think bad about you. So I try to be always like show them something good.
Absolutely. Yeah, and anytime, as soon as I turn on the camera, it seems like my abilities are not what they usually are. My
Yeah.
practice session seems to be the best. I try to fool myself and just turn on the camera and try to forget it, but in the back of my mind, I always know it's on.
Yeah, I know that's the thing.
Something to get used to.
Yeah.
Let's go check the chat before we dive in too deep and see who all's here today. Cyprian, wishing you a pleasant stream, but cannot attend on this one just because tomorrow is Monday. I think it is Monday, and local time is 3 a.m. I'll do my best for the next one. Yeah, I can understand if you're going to be getting up and going to work, you don't want to be watching this for the rest of the night. What else you say here? Telekinesis Street, Bangkok. Know this one? Like, is that I wonder if that's a channel or a movie or a joke? I'm not sure. Sorry, I'm not familiar with that.
Yeah.
Christian Best says, hey, brother, welcome to the stream. Glad you're here. Oh boy, don't know how to pronounce this one. That person says, yee. Well, yee back to you, baby.
Yeah.
Or Mr. or sir or whatever. Hello, my fellow mellows. Yes. Hello and welcome. And Brad Campbell says, first time. Well, Brad, so glad you're here, man. Appreciate you. All right. So, as I mentioned, we're going to talk about a little brain power and watch a few videos. And to tell you the truth, I don't know that much about this. And part of the appeal to telekinesis for me is the unknown. I think it's kind of cool that we don't know exactly what the heck's going on. That's the part
Yeah.
that makes it seem magic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I never really dug into it that much. Now I did agree to be hooked up to a biofeedback machine and an EKG with a guy, but he ended
Yeah.
up moving his practice to Oregon, and I never got to do that. And I'm thinking maybe that's probably how it's supposed to be. I don't know. Maybe I'm not that guy. You know, I'm
Yeah.
hoping somebody, a really good practitioner, is willing and able to subject themselves to such scrutiny and go in there and
Test.
let mainstream science pick at their brain and try to figure out what's going on. But to be
Yeah.
perfectly honest, I don't think mainstream medical science has a clue how the brain even works, to tell you the truth. I mean, I think they
Yeah.
know a little bit about it, but to be perfectly honest, they're all almost as stupid as we are when it comes to how the brain actually works. And I don't think
Yeah.
thoughts generate in the brain. I think I think our brain is like a modem, and
Yeah.
our thoughts and consciousness and all that stuff is stored outside of the body. I really do think that. So I don't
Yeah.
think we're gonna. It's like trying to crack open a seed and try to tell what kind of tree it's going to be. It's not, the answers aren't in there. The answers are
Yeah.
out there. But anyway, nonetheless, I do appreciate you. And I've watched these videos before, but it's been a while. I do
Hmm.
appreciate your work on it, and we are going to watch them. And if at any
Yep.
point, let me get it pulled up here. If at any point you want to butt in and add to uh, what you were saying or interrupt at any time, just speak up and I will pause the video. But with no further ado, let me make sure, yeah, we're all caught up in the chat. So let's go ahead and open up this first video that you shared with me.
This
Uh,
one is about this was an old one that I think you've seen before. It's me talking about how the brain and the stomach's involved with psychokinesis. Just these videos are mostly like my theories, you know. It's just like interesting things to kind of look at and think about mostly, you know.
I see. Yeah. Yeah. You're not saying you know exactly how everything works, but
Yeah.
this is part of
And you
your
can have,
research.
yeah, and you can have the volumes too and all of them.
Yeah. I got the volume up. I was just checking to make sure you can see that on YouTube. Yes, you can. All right. So
Yeah.
this looks like it's about a 3-minute, 47-second video. And unless I hear otherwise, we're just going to let her play. Here we go.
Hello everybody, this is Rich Cispidis Mad Cat Sphere, and I'm here with a video to further investigate how the stomach and brain is involved with psychokinesis. Now, if you
I don't really hear the audio that well,
have
Trevor.
Sorry, I got the audio all the way up. You say it's not very well, not very good.
No, it's not. It's not coming out at all.
Not getting any. All
No.
right. Let me close this and let me share again. Present. Oh, I got to open up a window first. Sorry about that, guys. I could hear it just fine. Share. Make sure I'm not missing anything. Screen share to work best. Computer screen sharing. Audio checkbox on the next window. Let me make sure I hit the. Where's an audio checkbook? Also share tab. Select tab. I've never had to do any of that before. Okay.
There's probably some
Yeah, it's
improvement.
on. It says audio on. Okay, so I'm gonna hit share, paste in the URL. Let me know if you can hear this.
hello everybody, this is Rich Cispidis Mad Cat Sphere, and I'm here with a
Oh no,
video.
it's still not coming out.
Not getting any sound?
No.
Oh,
It's kind of weird.
that's not cool. Okay, stop sharing. Let me do this again one more time. Share screen, screen sharing. Follow these steps. All right, it says also share tab audio. I'm gonna click it the other way. It's gray now. It was blue. I assumed blue was on.
Mhm.
Oh, got to open a new tab.
Sometimes it could be confusing these things, you know.
Yeah, my apologies. 100%.
That's okay. It's all right.
Never had this trouble.
And there's also a play button on the screen too. That can you see it? It's like a big old play button that's on there.
Say again. I'm sorry. I was looking at something else. Do what?
There's a big old play button that's like permanently on the screen. I don't know
Oh,
if you
when I
can
was
get.
playing the video?
No, like right now, like there's like a big old circle and a play button right there, just right there in the center of the screen.
Really? 'Cause I don't see it
Yeah,
on this then. Holy moly, what a deal. Some screens let you share audio. Look for the share audio checkbox on the next window. Follow these steps. I'm going to click on this and see what the follow these steps are. Bear with us, folks. Bear with us.
Yeah.
Down to screen share, basic, yep, screen sharing video file with audio. Open a new Chrome tag, drag and drop a video. Well, I'm not dragging and dropping videos. We're just looking at a window or screen. Chrome tab, share audio, and select the Chrome tab with your video file. Yeah, that's what I did. That's exactly what I did. You must check the share audio box. Screen sharing with audio is only supported with Chrome. I'm using Chrome. Okay, let me try this again. Okay, and how the body performs. Also share tab audio on and share.
That's how it goes.
Hello, everybody. This is Rich Sispis.
It still doesn't. You can't hear it still.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know what's wrong.
Let me get confirmation from the chat. Let me know in the chat if you guys can hear it on YouTube. Maybe it's just something backstage.
Yeah, maybe.
We were at Brad Campbell. Willow Pillow says all of that and more. Hello, everyone. Willow Pillow says, hello, Willow Pillow. Brad Campbell, perfect here.
That's kind of weird.
Brad says good sound here. So I think they can hear it on YouTube.
Oh,
So
that's kind of weird.
We're going to go ahead and play it. I don't know why you're not able to hear it backstage.
Drop
out and come back in while I'm playing the video, and perhaps that will solve the problem.
Okay, go ahead.
Here we go, folks. YouTube.
To further investigate how the stomach and brain is involved with psychokinesis. Now, if you haven't seen my previous video, the stomach, intestines, and brain is connected by the enteric nervous system, as you can see here, which is a crucial part in helping psychokinesis. Now, as you can see, there's also microbes involved in this. They're inside of the stomach, intestines, and the stomach themselves. They help with sending information by cortisol to the brain to help reassurance and confidence to move an object and to reinforce intention. As you can see, here's a few different types of gut microbes. By further investigation, I also found out that the microbes in the stomach prepare themselves before a person performs an action. The microbes in the stomach get into this anticipation preparation mode even before the person commits to an action. Now, what this means for psychokinesis is that the stomach and the microbes are developing and creating bioelectric energy, emotional activated bioelectric energy. And this helps with psychokinesis to help to move objects. Even before the person commits to it, the stomach and microbes start to develop and cultivate this energy. Now, as you can see here, here's the intestines absorbing nutrients, whether it be from fiber or from probiotic foods or things like that. You see, the stomach needs to be in a healthy state in order for it to be able to cultivate emotional energy through the intention alone, the idea and the concept of wanting to perform a physical activity or a psychokinetic activity. Over time, when you practice developing your intention and creating a concept of an idea of trying to act on an idea, your stomach becomes conditioned. Your microbes become conditioned to this. It's like exercise for them. They learn, like memory. They learn how to prepare for these such activities due course when you do this often. That's why I say that it's very important for you to carry your successes on whatever you accomplish in psychokinesis, because that helps you to create and develop and cultivate this emotional activated chi electromagnetic energy in the stomach, which then helps to penetrate through the body to affect an object, to connect to it, to move it. And that's why I say it's very, very important. The longer that you carry these successes within you, the sensations, the positivity within you, the more that you cultivate bioelectric energy. This helps to also create biophoton, which is the most intelligent photons there is, because it's interfused with your knowledge and your wisdom. It's alive. It's alive like you. It's basically small little pockets of clones of you with your thoughts. So biophotons are probably the most intelligent particles in the universe. And the other thing is that the stomach doesn't think on its own. It doesn't have a limbic system or parietal lobe or anything like that, like the brain does. So what it does is that it utilizes the microbes, as you can see in this picture. The microbes are actually the thing that makes it think. The microbes are thinking and feeling for the stomach. So when you have a reaction to something external outside and your stomach reacts, it's not your stomach so much as that it's your microbes seeing through your eyes and reacting to the world around you. And they use a stomach as a telephone or a cell phone, the middleman, to send information to you. And that's how they send emotional, cultivated electromagnetic energy to affect the world around you, to allow you to manipulate your reality from the inside out. Now, this is just all from my own investigation that I learned on my own and through my own thought process. And I just wanted to share this with you guys. This is what's going on. The enteric nervous system involves psychokinesis. Thank you guys for watching. It's Mad Cat Sphere. God bless.
Yeah, it's just theories, you know.
Nice. No, but there's a lot of information about us having a brain in our heart and a brain in our gut, and I don't, brain is probably not the right word to use, but yeah, I mean, everybody's had a gut feeling, you know. So I think you're onto something there. And I don't know about, you know, the microbial aspects of any of that stuff, but I know that if you get parasites in your body, they can control your thoughts and make you crave carbs and sugar and whatever it
Oh,
is
yeah.
that particular thing thrives on. So yeah, I think your gut health has a lot to do with psychokinesis, and that's why I always recommend people do a parasite cleanse when you're trying to clean up your body. You know, it's all about mind, body, and spirit. If you can detox and get rid of the parasites, that'll get rid of a lot of that brain fog, and like you were saying there, it could even improve your psychokinesis because you get control of your gut, so to speak. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You want to elaborate any more on what that video was about? Should we move on to the next one, or
Let's just move on to the next one, and then I'll elaborate more later.
nice?
Because
Okay.
I think we kind of wasted time like at the beginning. It was kind of my fault. I think it was something wrong with my connection. I couldn't hear.
Hello, everybody. This is Rich Cespedes, and I'm here to further discuss.
Can you hear that?
Yeah, I can hear it good. Yeah.
All right, let's go ahead and play this one. How long is this one? No, 3:33. Oh, Illuminati alert.
The mystery of the gut microbes. Now, as you already know from my previous post, the gut microbes and the brain are connected by the enteric nervous system. As you can see in this picture, the intestines are basically the brain. The brain and intestines are basically one thing. But what you might not know is that the microbes are directly involved in the construct and development of the brain while a infant is in the womb developing. It has been seen by scientists that the microbes are directly involved in the development of the frontal lobe and the hippocampus and other regions of the brain, as you can see in this picture right here. So the microbes are deeply involved in the body and the construct of the human being from the very start. This just further pushes the meaning of the microbes, as they were always there from the very beginning of our lives, basically the architects and the contractors of who we are today. This also pushes the very importance of the gut microbes and how they interact with the brain and our emotions and how they affect our ability to connect with objects with psychokinesis. The microbes are often thought about as one-dimensional and narrow in their existence, but in actuality, the microbes are very, very powerful. They exist within space and time itself, within the quantum foam of our reality. They're able to tap into frequencies and understand the universe better than we could ever know. Which leads me to another point that I want to get across in the enteric nervous system. I spoke about the enteric nervous system gets itself into a preparation, anticipation mode. Well, this occurs when you're involved in sports. Before you get up for a big game, in a football game when you're in high school, you're thinking about the sports and you're thinking about the activity. Your enteric nervous system gets involved in it. It gets prepared. It gets emotionally involved in the images and the thoughts. It doesn't matter what sport it is, whether it's golf or whatever. Your enteric nervous system pays attention to your imagination and to your training and what you were doing the previous day. And the microbes memorize this also. They push. They push into the nerves and to the fiber and to the bone of the body, giving it more bioelectricity, allowing you to be able to execute what you need to do in order to accomplish a win in the game. They help you not only in physical activities, but like I said, in psychokinetic activities. Gut microbes are so important that they even assist mediums in being able to receive information from the other side. Like I said, the microbes exist within the quantum foam of space and time, which allows them to receive information and wisdom and other frequency that we cannot easily receive. Because like I said, the gut microbes are involved in the development of the brain since we're in the womb, developing in our mother's stomach. So what that means is that when we have intuition or psychic abilities or clairvoyance, What that is that the microbes are connecting and sending information to certain parts of the brain. When you astral project, the microbes are opening up the pineal gland. They're communicating. Like I said, the microbes are involved from the very beginning, development of the frontal lobe and the occipital lobe and the hippocampus. So the microbes, when we're adults, are still connected. Now, here was a good example with the dogs and cats. If dogs and cats are able to see spirits and entities from other dimensions once in a while, then the microbes must live in the spiritual world 24/7. They're in the thick of it, in the thick of it. This is Richard Cespedes, Mad Cat Sphere. Thank you guys for watching. God bless.
I think you took on an alternate personality there at the end. I didn't even
I
think
know.
that was you at first. I was like, what? Who's that?
Yeah. Yeah, it's because I was trying to like end it with the like like with the Obi Kinesis. Sometimes how he has like a personality. He's all loud and happy. Like I tried to change it up like that.
Yeah. It was cool. I liked it.
Yeah.
It was neat. Yeah, that, like I said, that kind of continues on, piggybacks onto what that first video is about. But yeah, I think you're definitely onto something there, brother.
Do you think that this video, the second one, kind of it kind of makes sense a little bit to you? Or do you think it kind of has some good information that you kind of could agree with a little bit?
Yeah, well, you might have got out there a little bit when you started talking about the spirit realm and the
Yeah.
because that's a
Yeah.
very physical thing. The bacteria and stuff is a very physical thing, but there is a
Yeah.
connection between the physical and, I mean, we've experienced, anybody who's done telekinesis has experienced that connection between the physical and the metaphysical. So who am I to say? I don't know.
Yeah.
This is all
Yeah.
the unknown. That's what keeps it interesting.
Yeah.
Like I said
Exactly. Yeah.
before.
This
Right.
one, go to skip. Can you move the cursor little by little, and I'll show you when to stop, because it kind of has a long intro. I think at go to 111, because that will skip toward the where I wanted to go. Go to a 112. Yeah, press it right there.
Right in there.
Yeah.
And we're ready to go. But hold on,
Yeah,
back to that last one when they were talking about like when you're preparing for a whatever a game or even psychokinesis or whatever. I think you flood your mind with all those positive thoughts and use imagery. Like if you were playing basketball, you would picture yourself just sinking 3-pointer after 3-pointer after 3-pointer, and just that visualization attached with your will and your fortitude, just your attitude and confidence and and gratitude, and using all that. I think these are all things that the people at the top of their field do. I think they use a lot of visualization. They use a lot of positive self-talk. All these things, like you said, can program your mind, not only just your mind, but the activity. There's all kinds of activities going on inside your body, microbial and electrical and all these things. And you're in control of it. So take advantage of that visualization and that self-talk and all that stuff. I use that before I practice psychokinesis. I always visualize me doing well and being humbled and grateful and all that. So there's definitely something to this. What are we going to see here, Ricky? What's this one about?
This one's about directly analyzing the brain itself. It's gonna have some video clips where it's gonna show the certain parts of the brain that I believe, like theoretically, what's involved in psychokinesis and what they do and how they help us. But it's just all theory for investigation.
Sure. All right, let's do it.
As to allow itself to take over the reality of the stationary object as we see it and make it move. Even then, there has to be a perfect, delicate balance of acknowledgement of both. This is what creates the fusion and initiates telekinesis. It's just like a projector that we had in school.
Did you say something?
Try to skip a little bit more ahead. A little bit more.
We have 2 clear layers of plastic. Your internal imagination. One more thing I wanted to add, go deeper in the parietal, might be 3 big factors. I want to show you some images of the real human brain before I go on. This is very graphic images of a person holding a brain. So if you can't handle it, you might as well stop the video. And without further ado, let's go.
Did you hear that? There's going to be some gross stuff. If you don't want to see it, look away.
Now what we're going to do here is we're going to look some video clips. And on these video clips, it's going to show areas of the parts of the brain that initiates psychokinesis, which I believe initiates psychokinesis.
That's a real brain?
Yeah, it's a real human brain.
Yeah, and you're telling me doctors understand how that works? Yeah, I don't think so.
First, we're going to look at the cerebral cortex. Right there in the square area is approximately where the cerebral cortex is. It's a small little section area. It goes from the left and right hemispheres. It goes down. This is where you create physical action, sensory perception. This is even where like consciousness, scientists say consciousness is. So it's a very crucial area.
So the way they determine that, what areas of the brain, is that done with the EKG when you see them put those stickers? Or are they doing this on live people with their brains open? Do you know how they find out what portions do what?
They do a lot of like they put like the things on their head while they're awake, and they focus when they're sleeping and while they're like talking and like their day to day. Like they track people. They have like test subjects, and they determine it. Like they've been doing it for like about 20-30 years. Like when I uploaded this video, it was in 2017 or 16, and by that time they were already had like a long history of focusing on where consciousness is. So that's where their theory is.
Yeah, there's more than one way to do it, but the EKG seems like the most humane way. But I can remember
Yeah.
seeing videos back in the day where there was a guy poking and prodding around on a guy's brain. They had his skull split open,
Oh,
and they're touching here, and stuff would happen over here, and
yeah.
that sort of stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
it's crazy, man. The brain
Yeah.
is just you can't understand the brain. I mean, it's way beyond our comprehension. All right, let's
Yeah.
continue.
It has to do with a lot of with memory, which is very good with retaining information, carrying your when you do psychokinesis, you want to carry your successes, retaining the information with you. And what it is that not only does it create action, physical action with the parietal lobe, but it creates intention before action. And this intention moment, interfused with the other parts of the brain, as I'm going to explain now, is what creates a fusion of psychokinesis motion along with imagination. We're going to continue on to the occipital lobe. The occipital lobe right there in the red area right there, right in the back of the head, is where you're able to see your reality. This is where you create the crucial aspects of create imagination, and focusing, zoning in on objects, along with the parietal lobe, which is just above the area that you just saw. It's in between the cerebral and the occipital, where the parietal lobe is. And with the parietal lobe and the occipital lobe, you create imagination with it. You're able to see a reality with it, and interfused with the cerebral cortex with intention. The intention, moving an object by seeing your target and wanting to move your target object through your imagination and your visual context. Like I said, your external reality fusing with internal imagination, which is automatically melded and fused with intention, is what creates TK fusion.
Yeah.
There are some thoughts that go through my mind when I do telekinesis, but I'm really trying to be free flow with no thoughts. But I think
Yeah.
all that pre-charging and like we were talking about earlier, the things you do in preparation and the positive thinking and all that stuff, I think that just flows nonstop in the subconscious mind. But I think it's weird that the only sensation I really ever feel, other when I first started, I started feeling heat a little bit from my hands and stuff. But really, the only sensation I ever feel when I'm doing psychokinesis is in the gut, like the solar plexus area.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
same spot, like when you go over a hill too fast and you get that little tickle in your tummy. I get that sensation sometime. So again, that's kind of reaffirming the gut brain connection thing, or this might be totally chakra related. I don't know, but yeah, interesting.
And on this video, I'm gonna show at the end a little bit of the pineal gland. There's some images, so we'll see that soon.
Nice.
And that's the occipital lobe. So right here we have the parietal lobe right here. The parietal lobe is a very specific thing because it's a thing between the cerebral cortex and the occipital lobe, and it's kind of like the secret ingredient for psychokinesis because it works with the cerebral for motion and intention, and it also works with the occipital lobe for vision and imagination. So it's like the middleman that connects both places to create fusion. But you can initiate it by being in the right emotional state. Right here, we're showing a real human brain cut in half to show more detail in which areas, the parts of the brain I believe through my research is being involved in psychokinesis. The spirit is involved in psychokinesis, but we'll go into more. The top part in the red is the cerebral cortex. To the right in the yellow, there is the parietal lobe, and to the bottom of the parietal lobe in green, there is the occipital lobe. Now, these are the three, just to show more detail, these are the three parts of the brain that are involved in it. And the cerebellum right there is deeply interwoven with balance and everything like that. And the cerebral cortex is involved with memory and sensory and physical action and tension, which is a very intention is deeply involved with TK. And these are just the main areas that are involved in psychokinesis. So there is other parts of the brain that are involved in imagination. There is the precumulus, the posterior parietal, the frontal parietal, occipital, and the dorsolateral prefrontal regions of the brain are also involved with imagination, and which gives a little bit more help with the intention allows to move the object. I believe that's where the TK movement fusion occurs. From further research, I've also come to believe that the delta brain waves are also deeply involved in psychokinesis. I'm not sure how these regions of the brain go about initiating it, but I believe it may be either a subtle, direct, or indirect activation. I think that maybe you can have it kind of activated before by doing some meditation and it kind of just turns on. But I think that it may be through the intention and through the emotional aspects. And beforehand, of course, with the meditation, the delta brain waves can be can activate and give you a little spike. It gives you more energy to move the object, to sense it.
You mentioned the word spike. I also saw a video, and I looked for this earlier before we started the show, and I can't seem to find it. But there was a guy moving a knife, wearing an EKG thing, strapped to his brain or whatever, or to his head, and right before the kinetic action happened, there would be like just a real quick whop. I mean, a real high spike, and then right back to level, and then the object would move. It's like the spike, and then maybe 1 second later, the object moved. So I think there is some sort of thing in the brain that that sends out maybe these pulses, or that's why I always feel like everything when I do telekinesis, it comes out in irregular pulses, like a spark plug firing or something like that. And I
Yeah.
remember seeing that on that EKG, that big, it was pretty non-existent, not much happening, before and after, but right before the thing, like I said, it spiked real strong. I mean, the guy that was doing it said that was a pretty major movement for an EKG. So yeah, I
Yeah.
think there is something that fires in the brain whenever we're doing psychokinesis.
Out this spiritual spike, I guess you could say. Um, but the thing is, though, is that the delta brainwaves are involved in our. It's a very important thing because it's involved in our sleep, in deep meditation, specific parts of deep meditation, and it's the last thing that science can measure before a person finally dies. When a person dies, only thing science can measure is one spike, or I think it's like a spike or something like that, of a delta brainwave before the body finally becomes deceased and everything completely shuts down.
No, that's weird. I didn't know that. I did know that there's a certain amount of weight that seems to leave the body when someone deceases. I forget what it was. I mean, it's a matter of grams or something. But isn't that weird? Like maybe
Yeah.
the spirit does weigh something. Maybe there's, or maybe it's vapor, I guess, has weight
Yeah.
technically, So who knows? That's interesting.
So if it's involved in main aspects of our lives in that way, then why shouldn't it be involved in psychokinesis, which I believe it is. But I've also seen telekinesis minds possible, and he used an EEG meter, and he proved that the delta brainwaves were being involved in psychokinesis. So I'm very happy that my theory may be correct because it's a dream world fantasy fusing with reality.
But here's
The delta brainwaves, I believe,
should be coming up pretty soon.
Say again.
The pineal gland should be coming up pretty soon.
acts like a glue, and it binds and melds itself with the two layers, as I spoke before, fantasy and reality. And when it does this, That's when the true psychokinesis initiation of motion occurs, moving an object occurs. And it's just a big factor. It's just a big old interworking complex thing of how psychokinesis is. It's simple but complex at the same time. And I want to also talk about the spirituality aspect of this. That yes, chi energy and spirituality and spiritual energy. It isn't just all the brain, but it kind of is all the brain, because the brain is a spirit, and the spirit is the brain. It's one interlocking mechanism, functioning mechanism.
There's man.
Now, before I go,
ouch! Let go of that guy's pineal gland. That's gotta hurt.
Yeah.
That dude's probably tripping right now. Ah!
I
But
know.
yeah, like I said earlier, I think the brain kind of acts as the modem that connects to uh, anything, our consciousness, or like you said, when we use psychokinesis, when we connect to ambient energy or our own subtle energy. I think the brain and the pineal gland play a role in that. Sorry to interrupt. Would you want to say something before I finish this?
Oh no, this gonna show some video clips right here. It's pretty cool.
I want to look at the pineal gland. Here's some videos of the pineal gland in the brain right there. See it? It's grabbing it. I believe that the pineal gland is involved in spirituality and deep meditation, but I think it's mostly involved in astral projection and things like that, and going on mental trips and all that. But in psychokinesis, I think that it may be involved kind of, but not so much. It's mostly other parts of the brain and emotional states. As Rick says, but thank you guys for watching this 2000 subscriber special.
Well, thank you for making the video, Ricky. It was awesome.
Yeah, but these are old videos though, that I've had for a while.
Yeah, but they're only old if they're brand new if you've never seen them.
Yeah.
Let's jump back into the chat, see if we got any new. Yeah, he'd like to try my supplements. Awesome. Sacredsupplements.com. Sounds good, says Buddha, number one. And but I'm a few minutes behind. Well, can't help that. Here from Niagara Falls, New York. Well, hey, welcome, Carl. Glad you're here. Niagara Falls. I think goes all the way up into Canada too, right? Is that right? Let me know in the chat, Carl. Is that right? Does Niagara Falls also go clear up into Canada?
What does the chat think about the videos? Like, what do you guys think about my theories and all that?
Yeah, Willow, Christian, Brad, any of you guys?
Yeah.
Let us know what you think. What do you think about the mind's connection to psychic abilities? You think it has a connection, has nothing to do with it? Let's go. Oh, we need to do joke of the day. Let's go do joke of the day while we're waiting for some people to type in the chat. Let me see if did I load one? Yes, I did. Here we go.
Okay.
How does the moon cut its hair? Eclipse it. But that was in honor of the upcoming eclipse. The world could potentially end tomorrow. I don't think it's going to, but what are you guys' thoughts on the eclipse? Do you think it's exactly what mainstream science tells us? It's the moon passing in front of the sun, even though no one's ever seen the moon approach or leave the sun during an eclipse? Or do you think maybe it's Rahu Ketu? Or could the moon be doing something electromagnetically from behind the moon? Or behind the sun. That would explain why we can't see it, because the sun is so dominant, and so bright, we wouldn't be able to see anything behind it. But common sense says to me that if the moon is approaching the sun, you would be able to see it. Name one thing the sun does not illuminate. I can't name one. So I don't know. That's kind of perplexing. Ever since I got into true cosmology, I've started questioning everything. You gonna watch the eclipse? Do you have a view from where you're at?
Yeah, I'm hoping to try to catch it. I live in Las Cruces, New Mexico, so it should be around here. It's all over the world, right?
Yeah, it's going right through Mexico. I don't know what percentage. There's a website you can go to, and it looks like I'm going to get 80-some% blockage. I'm not going to get totality or anything. But I remember in 2017, I watched it. It was kind of overcast, but I watched it with no glasses or anything, and kind of did some recording with my P900. I tell you what, it's an eerie feeling when it blocks it out. I just got like the willies you get, like when you're watching a scary movie or something. It gave me the willies for just, I don't know, like 20 or 30 seconds. I felt uneasy. And I don't
Oh
think
yeah.
an eclipse is a positive thing. I think it's a negative thing. In fact, the Native Americans, whenever an eclipse would occur, they would always be indoors and they would avoid consuming any liquids or foods or anything during the eclipse. They thought that was it's an evil time and it's not to be observed or in any way, like not to be celebrated or anything. They just kind of did their best to avoid it. They like you would a bad person. If you see someone approaching your car and they look questionable, you know, you just roll your window up and try to avoid making eye contact. That kind of thing, you know, that's the way they treated it. So I don't know about all these people going out of their way to go see this eclipse. And I'm mixed emotions. Are you going to watch it if you can see it, Ricky?
Yeah, yeah. Like I'm gonna be like waiting for it. So I'm gonna be standing outside or sitting around near the window and waiting for it.
Yeah. Yeah, there's some websites you can go and see when it's going to be. I think around noon or something, from noon to 2 or something is kind of when it's going to be in the Missouri area. So yeah, I'll probably go check it out. And I'm debating about getting some glasses. I've heard people, oh, you'll go blind if you look at it. And I've heard other people say, oh, when you look at the eclipse, magical things happen to you. You know, maybe your eyesight will improve or you'll purge some demons or, you know, I've heard everything from it's terrible, it's good. And I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll hear other people's comments. What do you guys think about the eclipse tomorrow? Let me know in the chat and we'll see if we survive. But if this is the end of the world tomorrow, man, it's been good knowing you all. And I'm so happy you guys got into the telekinesis thing and you checked out my channel and Ricky's channel and you hang out in the chats and being a part of this whole thing. Man, it's just an exploration. None of us really know what the heck's going on. We're just winging it and trying to figure out how this magic stuff works. Looks like we got one more video.
Hello, everybody's Rich Cispidis.
All right, let me check the chat real quick and we'll see if anybody said anything.
Yeah.
Doodly-doo. Where were we at? We were at Niagara Falls. Let's see. Brad says, I was understood that all cell in the body is awake and conscious. Yeah, I think there's I don't know if you want to call it telepathic communication on a cellular level going on inside your mind or in your body. Well, obviously there is, because, you know, if you hit your finger with a hammer, the communication is instantaneous. You know, there's no delay on the pain. So, you know, that's the nervous system, of course, but what's running through the nervous system, you know, electricity. And, you know, what's inside every cell. I think there's a little bit of electricity inside every cell, you know. So, yeah, it's all connected, man. That's for sure. Hey, the Coke Queen's here. Welcome, Coke Queen, Your Highness. Hi from Cleveland, Ohio. In the path of totality. Oh, my gosh. Well, I'm sorry to tell you, but probably the world's going to end tomorrow. If you're in the path, man, it's just going to cut a hole right through Earth and there'll be nothing down. That's awesome. You don't have to drive to go see the ultimate event. If you've never experienced a total eclipse of the sun, it is a sight to see. And when it's completely blacked out, take your eyes off the sun and kind of look around a little bit, because in some instances, particularly on flat ground, it looks like there's a bunch of snakes crawling around on the ground and stuff. I mean, it looks, the shadows and everything is just, it's a weird experience. Excuse me. What's Brad Campbell say? He says Upper Peninsula of Michigan. So is that in the path of totality? I don't think it is. Michigan. I'm not sure. I'm no expert on the eclipse, but I know it's tomorrow and we should be very, very afraid. No, I'm just kidding. All right. Anything you want to preface this video with, or should we just go ahead and let it roll?
This one's the very first video that I made about my theories, and it's the one that's most popular that people like. So, but it's a good little theory. It's not as detailed, but it's pretty. Has some good thoughts on, like my first beginner thoughts on it.
Gotcha. Brad says, "LOL, so much fear." Yeah, yeah. Be very, very afraid. And no, I think he was answering my question in the path of totality. All right, so we're going to go back and check out this final video by Ricky Cespedes.
And I'm here with the video upload describing my theories on how the brain works when it performs telekinesis. Now, I'm going to be kind of very detailed. I want to start off with the blood flow of the brain, how the blood flowing throughout the brain can disable or enable your telekinetic abilities. Now, in the circle of telekinetics, to perform telekinesis, you have to be in a neutral emotional state. And the reason why you have to be neutral emotional state is because when you're on a daily life, when you're sitting at home or when you're at school and you're working on a problem, more blood flow is transferring toward that area of focusing and thinking. The brain's energy needs to be equalized, needs to be in equilibrium. The blood flow cannot be overwhelmingly one part of the area than the other. And that's why in telekinesis they say you have to be neutral, because in everyday life, when we're going through life, certain things, social things occur, and that causes more activity to go through and to activate in other parts than others. So in general, the brain becomes unbalanced and overactive. Now here's an example right here. Here's a brain scan of an individual looking at a picture or an object. Now as you can see, there's blue and red little swirls going on. What that is that's blood flow and neurotransmissions going out. There's too much activity actually. Now there's too much activity going through. See, there's the occipital lobe. There's too much activity in the frontal lobe and throughout the thalamus, and it's all over the place. So what that does, that creates too much unbalance and too much activity occurring throughout the brain. And what we want when you do telekinesis, the reason why they tell you to be in a neutral emotional state is because you want that energy to be equally distributed throughout the brain and not to be overwhelmingly in other parts than the others. What you want is to have an equal, calm amount of flowing energy, is to have an equilibrium of energy within us. It's almost like a perfect symmetry, harmony in a song, balance, rhythm. It's kind of like when you walk into a club and you hear a band playing their music and you're kind of like, well, maybe I can add something to that. And what that is that you and the universe are working together in that same manner. You're making music and making rhythm. So you're in rhythm together. Now, what we have here is a picture of the brain. Now, what I want to talk about is that when you're overly emotionally involved with the situation, or even hearing things or thinking about things, the whole entire brain is active. Like the corpus callosum is involved with that. The pons is involved with that. Every part of the brain, the brainstem, everything is sending electrical signals throughout the brain. Now, when you want to do telekinesis, you have to be in an emotional neutral state because you don't want too much activity surging through the body too much. You don't want to be, it's like throwing around, it's like trying to tell a baseball player to hit a ball and you're like pushing him side to side. It makes it difficult. And when you're in that when you create that equilibrium of blood flow and electrical surges going on in the brain, you create a balance of even distribution of energy throughout the body and brain.
Oh, that is so true, man. I'm always preaching the balance of the empathy, the mindset, and the energy. And this is right on track, if you ask me. I think if your brain is full of thoughts and anticipation and everything, it's too active to allow it to flow through. There has to be no tension to let this. It's a very flow state sort of thing. That's kind of what you're saying here, isn't it, Ricky?
Yeah.
And what I think is going on is that we're sending out a small, subtle frequency that the universe coincides with. And it's almost like a gateway through the space and time, and it allows to manipulate objects. And we call that telekinesis. And it's a small, subtle frequency that can only be emitted when we're in a calm, relaxed state. And our pineal gland is the strings on the guitar emitting that frequency out. Or it's the instrument, and the only way to allow the instrument to send out that frequency is to know how to play it. And that is to be balanced in rhythm of yourself. But this is my theory on how we perform telekinesis in terms of memory retention. Now, to me, I think that doing telekinesis, I might be bouncing back and forth, but it's kind of like a glitch, like a loophole that humans do, that the creator kind of forgot to fix. And it's kind of like an elusive thing because in the neurotransmissions, it's probably not like a natural occurring thing, but it's just a thing that we found the glitch over. And so, like, when you perform telekinesis, it's more of like remembering how you felt when you achieved it, of your past achievements of spinning a PSI wheel. So it's kind of an elusive thing altogether. Because I see it as something that's not like a natural thing, like a set mechanism in the brain, like the occipital lobe and all the other parts of the brain. I see it as something's more elusive and kind of hard to grasp, more like cupping water in your hands. Because when I do telekinesis, it's almost like I have to recognize what it felt when I achieved spinning the PSI wheel or whatever. It's almost like you have to almost recall all the time when you're getting ready to do it. And what I want to also add before I go is I want to talk.
I remember that in my early stages too, that I always try to remind myself of the success I'd had before. And when you focused on that success feeling, not necessarily the analytical thought of it, but just the emotion you had when you succeeded, a lot of times that would start the wheel of spinning. Just getting that positive vibe back. Yeah. So be very aware of the sensation. It's very subtle, but whenever you have success with telekinesis, remember that feeling and always try to go back to that. That's exactly what you were talking about there. I can tell you know how to perform psychokinesis because we all kind of experience the same thing.
Yeah, it's true.
Talk about the chakras and how the brain is essentially connected to the chakras. The brain and the internal nervous system and the spinal cord is connected to the stomach and the lungs and the heart and everything else. And
hence the reason posture and doing stretching exercises such as yoga or qigong or anything, it just improves this connection, because you're right, the connection runs up the spine, the chakra. It's like two serpents going up your spine, as they say. And if your spine is straight, the flow is even and balanced. And if your spine is not straight, or you're holding tension in one of your chakras, it has to go around it, and that disrupts that flow, and you don't get this beautiful flow of energy going through your body. Exactly. Spot on.
And also the glands of the sexual glands. And it's basically one complete system. Not only is it for functioning, being able to digest foods and to send out signals to keep the heart rate going and all the other things, but it has an alternate function, and that is to connect to the spiritual world and to connect to space and time, to send out energy and frequencies throughout space and time, which allows us to do telekinesis. The brain sends signals to these glands to be activated and to keep us alive. And when you're in a neutral emotional state to do telekinesis, you can send these, manipulate and send these signals to activate these glands to further perpetuate your telekinetic abilities, your chakras. Mr. Rickie says, but thank you guys for watching.
That was awesome, Rickie.
Yeah.
That was really good.
Well, I hope that it was, what'd you say?
I said, yeah, those were really good. All those videos were really good, man. I enjoyed them all.
Yeah, because I hope that it was like informative and fun and like kind of deep. It makes you kind of think, kind of like, about the body and mind and all that,
Definitely, yeah. And there definitely is a mind, body, spirit connection. And everything you were saying is, I don't think it was that theoretical. I think it was somewhat experiential, because you've noticed the same things that I have, and I've talked to thousands of practitioners, and they've all experienced similar things. I'm not saying there's only one approach, but I think we all kind of go through the same experience when we start having success. And the meditation and the balance, all these things I've been preaching for 10 years, they all play a role in it for sure. Let's go back to the chat, see if we got anything new. We got Zulu 1. Is this the same Zulu I'm thinking of? Probably not. Different Zulu 1. Hey, do you ever go on the Mark Sargent Strange World show? Is this a different Zulu? Just wondering. Anyway, he says much love. Oh, and love. We got some fries with extra fries. Luciano R17 says, I wish I showed up earlier. Thank you for streaming. I love these streams. Oh, cool, man. I love it that you guys participate in these streams, man. If nobody showed up, guess what? These streams will go away. I really appreciate the people who watch afterwards too, which is the majority of our viewers. So if you're watching this not on April 7th or a little later on April 7th, thank you, man. I really appreciate you guys watching too. And if you have any questions or comments, put them in the comments below. I read the comments. I try to hit them up about every weekend, usually on Sundays. And if you ask questions, I will reply. I'm not like some of those people who just never read their comments or anything. And, As long as you don't use profanity, you can tell me I'm an idiot. I don't care. I'll leave that up there too. I think I'm all for free speech, as long as you're not being a jerk, harmful or hurtful or threatening people, you can say whatever you want on my channel.
Yeah.
All right. What else? What else you want to talk about? Anything else?
Oh no, I just think that we've come a long way from when we first started talking, interacting, and like our channels have grown a lot, and like I think that we've helped a lot of people, and I think that the psychokinesis and the spiritual element of it is starting to grow a lot. I think it's starting to pick up a lot of momentum. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think so too. I noticed a pretty good increase in my views. I clicked on the analytic button on one of my YouTube page there, and it looks like all my numbers went up this last month. More views, more subscribers, more. I couldn't tell you the numbers, but they tell you if it's more or less, and they were all in the upper position. Yeah, and I've
Good.
gotten a lot of, or I wouldn't say a lot, but more emails than normal regarding psychokinesis and Ormus and things like that. So yeah, I think the consciousness is waking up. In fact, they're saying this eclipse is the onset to our moving into the age of Aquarius, which is moving from the age of believing, which was a Piscean age, into the age of knowing, the Aquarian age. So I think a lot of truth's going to come out in the next 3, 4, 5 years. And the pendulum is definitely swinging towards truth. A lot of people are waking up to a lot of the deceptions. I
Yeah.
think the old jibby jab thing that we had back in 2020 woke a lot of people up, gave them a lot of time to sit at home and research some things they may not have had time to look into. And yeah, I think there's always going to be a little evil happening, but I think the pendulum is leaning more towards the good. And I think tomorrow, this eclipse is a good time to purge. So if you got any bad habits you want to get rid of, or any toxic relationships you'd like to terminate, I suggest tomorrow is a good day to do it, because that's when Mother Nature's doing it. She's doing a whole total reset tomorrow. We'll have a brand new sun on Tuesday, or after the eclipse, I guess, and be a good time to set your path on the straight and narrow to where your dreams are trying to lead you to.
Yeah.
I don't know. That might be a little woo-woo, but that's my thoughts. I'm going to try to get rid of some bad things. Like I said, I'm going to watch the eclipse, but I'm not going to like be reverent about it or anything. I'm just going to observe and see if I can learn anything or see anything. And I don't
Yeah.
know. I'm
Feel
kind of
anything?
excited about it. Go ahead.
Maybe like feel anything?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, I tell you what, I'm feeling generous. Let's do one more thing. Anybody out there want to see the highlights from the video I'm getting ready to upload next week? I can share that. Easy enough. Like
Sure.
a minute. Let me see if I can find that for you. We'll do that, and then we're going to call it a show here. Where did I put it? Videos. Here it is. Okay, I got into some rocking and a rolling. See if I know how to do. Okay, yeah, it's working. Okay, there's no audio. So, well, it's pretty self-explanatory. I'll just go ahead and let it play. These are pretty big targets compared to the styrofoam cup I did last roll. And I contribute a lot of this energy to just getting my physical body fire back up again. It's kind of idle through the wintertime. And I've been doing a
Yeah.
lot of strenuous exercise, and my body was definitely, woke up and everything. So I did some energy work, took some Ormus, did some meditation, and had really good results with this. This was only like the third day of me messing with this bottle. And look at that. That was a no hands move. Did you see that?
Yeah.
And that was a good one. I'll watch it again. Look how far this thing rolled.
That's it right there. You
That's
did real
not,
well.
now, of course, I got the body English going on, but I get one move in here where I'm hardly moving at all, which is
Yeah.
look at that. See, I didn't move on that one.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get away from all that body English. Yeah, and this is an old salt container, which is very heavy. And the bigger around it is, the less or the more chi it takes to get that thing rolling, it seems like. And I'm
Yeah.
always doing them on that stupid tablecloth. I should show you my table sometime. You'd understand why I always put a tablecloth on there, because the table is so scarred up and chewed. It's got paint on it. it was an old work table for a long time. It's not a very smooth surface. That's why I always put that on there. But anyway, there you go. A little gift to my live viewers and post viewers, I guess. You got to see it too, perhaps before the upload. But yeah, that's going to be featured in my upcoming video. I'll probably put that together, I don't know, middle of next week or something, whenever I get a minute. Let's check the chat one more time before we call it a show. Brad says it's all good. Okay, good. Look out for energy shifts during the eclipse. Yeah, definitely, man. There is like I said, there's a weird vibe that goes on during totality. And I think that's a good time to just release all your fears and angers and problems and consider it a brand new slate. Whenever that new sun appears, you're a new person. Just try to be a better person than you were the day before. And that's all we can hope for, a little improvement every day. And that's the name of the game, man. That's how we do it. All right, let me get rid of that. And any closing comments?
Well, I think that the future's looking pretty bright for everybody. I think that we're doing well, and I think that psychokinesis is spreading and awareness is spreading. And I think that it's just gonna take some time and steady work and diligence, but we'll get there. I think that we can improve our lives better and things will get better, but we just need to kind of be very start to kind of really take it more serious, but more focused and relax at the same time.
Absolutely. Well said. Preach it, brother. Preach it, brother. All right, man. Thanks a lot, Ricky. You were the star of this show for sure, man. I appreciate all the work, and really, I enjoyed watching your videos and the interaction in the chat. It's been fun. So, in the meantime, I guess this has been Trebor7 and Mad Cat Sphere. We'll be back on the 7th. Oh, next month, we've got Mr. Jolly from Superpowers Interview is going to come on, and he's looking forward. He's going to do kind of a live interview with you, Ricky, because he said he hadn't nailed you down yet. And we're going to go through some of his experience. He's talked to a lot of practitioners, so I'm sure he has some interesting stories to share with us. So I guess that's about it. We're going to wrap it up. Thanks again for you guys being here. Take care of your body, follow your spirit, and open your mind. There's magic inside. All right. Peace out, everybody. Thanks for being here.
Thank you, Trevor.